Okay, so welcome everyone. As you can see on the screen, we are at the Azerbaijan circuit right now with CWR race number 5 of the second season of this wonderful league. Right now we are just starting qualifying, nothing interesting happening just yet. Saying hello to all the free people that are watching the stream right now. I hope the number will get bigger over time. So as far as what you can see on the screen right now, we have 18 people, which is far more than last time out. You will see a lot of new faces, and also, with the biggest probability after this race, we will be starting over again with a new tier system being implemented in the league. As you saw, there was a fuck ton of carnage last week out, so people are trying to prevent that by building 2 separate tiers of this league. As Preston almost invalidated his own lap there, that was a very sloppy exit out of turn 1. So anyway, we're gonna have 2 tiers. One will obviously be better, and the second one will obviously be not better. But the most important thing I think all the drivers will be very excited about is that the Norwegian boy and his band of skilled players will be placed in Tier 2, and thankfully in Tier 1 I will have a co-commentator, so the stream will not get awkward when I need to have a break to drink or to breathe. If you're interested, right now we still don't have a second commentator as that person kind of died. So, we are not sure when the tier system will be starting, so I'm not sure if we are considering this as the season finale or some sort of championship decider. If that would be the case, it will be a 3-person decider between Preston, Rhythms and Jado Racing, all tied up with a small margin of points that can be given at this Baku circuit. Timbit in the wall, thank you for the comment. I was expecting people to crash out in the castle section. Also, Norwegian boy has a race ban, so I'm pretty sure that the carnage will be less substantial, but I'm still expecting, yeah, it's Baku, what do you expect? So after almost 5 minutes of qualifying, we have Preston obviously leading the pack, but only 3 people set their time. Lewis wasn't close, TM Ducky wasn't close at all, so he's the person that will probably join me in the commentator's seat from next week. Hopefully everything will get sorted out by then, and yeah, he's gonna be driving in the tier 2, so he's gonna have some time to commentate tier 1 with me. As far as the new faces around here are concerned, yeah, I haven't seen these people, you haven't seen these people, we don't know what to expect. Just because of the carnage we have seen, the majority of the newer faces will be happening in Tier 1. And yeah, I'm not sure if the team lineups will change in any way, what the calendar will look like. I have very limited information about that. But I guess for now we should just enjoy the race as it is. You can see Matmar crossing the line and pick up 3rd place. That's definitely not the fastest lap that he can do around here. A second slower than Preston. And yeah, TM Ducky is very far off the pace. I think he's gonna be coming into the pits about now. We have 6 people finally joining the stream, so I'm finally talking to someone. Compared to last times, the number of people is much higher. Let's hope that the disconnections slash carnages slash whatever will not be in bigger numbers right now. but we can see Scuderia Alonso coming to cross the line soon. But he did do a fastest sector too. So that gives us a good impression what the time will be. Maybe he finally will someone be challenging Preston. He's been dominating season 1 and 2 actually. Apart from the bad race in Brazil, he has been very good this season so far as well. So yeah, after 7 minutes we only have 5 times out of 18. People are very hesitant coming back to the track. It's a track with walls, by the way, so you should expect a bigger amount of carnage than you saw previously on tracks that don't have walls. And for some reason the calendar was supposed to be ending with tracks that have walls. For example, Russia, or the last race of the season should have been Singapore. So yeah, that was a wonderful corner cut from Skills there. That's a lap invalidation. Or maybe he's just getting out of the way. So some people got race bans and they were replaced. It is very hard to keep track of who didn't get the race ban, who got switched, who's where. Because at this point everything is sort of happening at once in this league, but with the reform happening, with the tier system, we're probably gonna get something more structural and something more understandable as time goes on. So we're halfway through qualifying and we still haven't seen much of competitive lap times. But I guess people are still waiting for the track to get grippier. So we're gonna go on board with Nova Apollo and see what the time will be. He was a very interesting contender in the last races. He came back as a reserve, and look at that, P3. Well, out of 6, that's not a very impressive result, but still, he came back as a reserve initially at the special event before the season started. Now he got a full-time seat at Red Bull, so a very impressive career progress there. But finally we see loads of people on track, so finally some action will be arriving at the circuit. Apart from 2 people that binned it into the wall, Rhythms gets the fastest lap of the qualifying session by quite a margin actually. Look at that. 7/10 off Preston, so Preston really needs to improve at this point. Thankfully, we won't have any rain in this race, so people will actually see what is happening on track right now. So I guess that's a good thing. So Maranito didn't set a very impressive lap time throughout the first 2 sectors, so let's look at someone who probably did. Guys will cross the line for the first time in the qualifying session. He's gonna be P5, so not the most impressive time. He is off pole by quite a margin. Jado, in meanwhile, set a lap of 38.3, puts him in P2, 2/10 off pole. So definitely some room for improvement there, but very close indeed. Now XRT Crimo will set his time, but on the mediums, and it's very impressive. For medium tires, P5, kind of like a second off pole, and then Lewis sets the fastest lap of qualifying, almost beating the 1:38 margin. So that's okay. We haven't seen Lewis in this league much, but now he's really putting the pressure on these guys. Very interested to see what will happen towards the end of the qualifying session, because I was saying earlier that Matmar Oh, that's another bin into the wall by Maranito. Another victim of the castle section, and we're not even in the race yet, so I'm expecting at least 2 safety cars during this time. So if Lewis keeps up this form, I'm very interested to hear a new voice in the interview room after the race. Because so far it was only Rhythims, Preston and Jado every time in the interview room. So yeah, well, we are in the final stages of this qualifying session, finally. Let's go on board with Dolger, just to see what the time will be. And I'm thinking a Renault will be crossing the line shortly. No, he's going into the pit lane, never mind. We have 5 minutes left. People have like 3 sets of tires they can use and still very hesitant to go out of the pit lane. Not sure what's with the patience thing, but not complaining. The Dolger's time will not be very good. It will only put in P11, so not the best start to qualifying. Maybe he should have done an earlier run. Turbo Games' rear end really touched the wall there, so thankfully he wasn't out because of that. Only 2 victims of the castle section so far. Oh, never mind. Another victim of the castle section, so people are really struggling under pressure. Maybe this league is rising in quality after all. We have 4 minutes left. And we're still waiting for people like Trigger, Venom, or Skills to finally put a time in. The rest of the field will be in the pit lane. Finally, Matmar will be probably setting a time. Let's hope he actually manages the castle section, and it looks like he did. So that puts him... If you nail the castle section, that at least puts you in the top half of the field, as it looks like. But it's very logical that people are not handling the castle section that well. Only 3.5 minutes left, and Matmar is improving on his best time by a second. So this could put him really far off the grid. I'm thinking like P4, P5, something like that. But the exit out of the last corner should have been perfect in order to actually improve. So let's see, where will this put him? And it's P5, yeah. So, not the best, but not the worst time as well. Matmar being behind his teammate pace-wise. But it's not the end of the world, as Preston is Season 1 champion and maybe even Season 2 champion if the season actually continued till the end. Nova Apollo after the first sector, not the best improvement. So let's have a look at someone else. Looks like the leaders are still just going out of the pit lane. Dolger invalidated his time there. And Venom is on his out lap. Probably the only lap he's gonna do in qualifying. Not sure what's happening there. But Preston is finally on his time. And this should be very interesting. The pole fight is tied between 3 tenths by 4 people, so that will be a very interesting fight to the death. If Preston really wants to, he can do another lap. He's gonna have enough time. That's an advantage compared to the rest. I hope my screen is twitching and not his. It looks like he touched the wall in the castle section. I'm not sure what's happening on the screen right now. It's very weird. It looks like it's gonna get stable, so let's see what the time will be at the end of the second sector. And it's an improvement by 4/10. He is purple, so if he doesn't win the last two corners, which it looks like he's going to do just fine, he's gonna be on provisional pole, but Lewis, Rythims and Jado still haven't set their time yet. And so we're gonna be seeing an interesting fight till the end. He picks up pole by 2/10 off Lewis. And those three that are in the challenge are still on their outlaps. And they're in the middle of the pack. Probably nothing really spectacular will happen. Maybe we'll finally see a time. Never mind, we won't see a time from Venom because he invalidated his time yet again. So he's gonna be probably starting even further down the grid than people that have pinned it into the wall. Interesting stuff there. So yeah, okay, so Rythims and Jado finally on their laps. Thankfully they are not close to each other, so they won't hold each other up that much. So the gap between those two is 2/10, and unfortunately Lewis didn't make it through the end of qualifying, so he's done. He's done for the qualifying session. That's the best time he's gonna do right now. And so the action shifts towards Rythims and Jado, the regulars on the podium and the championship contenders. As far as the championship is concerned, Preston is leading Jado by 5 points. And Rythims is 12 points behind Preston, so 7 behind Jado. Jackson left the league, so the championship fight will be only between those three. For the sake of giving this race more hype, let's pretend that things will get sorted out before the next week's race, and we will have a new season by then. So for hype purposes, actually, Skills set a lap that was faster than Jado's, but he's gonna probably improve on this one. Let's see, and he didn't. Jado didn't, so Jado is beaten by Skills Virus, person that binned it into the castle section earlier in the session. So very interesting stuff happening there. And Rythims doesn't improve as well. Okay, so Lewis accidentally didn't make it to the end, like to the next lap in order to improve. Preston is pulling into the pit lane, so that's the end of qualifying actually. And so Lewis's accident actually got him into P2, and Jado is all the way down in P5 with a newcomer, Skills, actually overtaking him in the timesheet. So Preston is going to have a lot of work with putting his own video on his own channel with the pole lap. But that doesn't guarantee that he's gonna win the race as well, because it is Baku and it's a long race and a lot of drivers that can pin him into the wall. Scuderia Alonso actually got a penalty for whatever reason. The only person to set a time on mediums is Crymo, so he's gonna have a free choice of tire. So interesting stuff. Towards the middle of the pack, maybe he's gonna go for the one stop from mediums to hards, but with Baku being such an unpredictable circuit, I highly doubt that you can plan ahead of time for things like this. So if anyone watching the stream right now has any contact on on the people that are like new to this league. I would really appreciate if someone like texted them if they finish on the podium, because I really don't want to be looking for them for 20 minutes when I want to do the interview after the race. But from this field, literally anyone can win. As far as this league's reputation is concerned towards Carnage plus Baku, anyone can win this race. Post your predictions in the chat and try not to be biased towards people you are rooting for. Alright, so right now we are in the formation lap, and because of the penalty that Scuderia Alonso has right now, people behind him got some positions, so Crime will be starting on the mediums in 8th rather than 9th. But also Nova Apollo, Trigger, Modanito, Dulcher, Turbo Games, Zoomer, Timbit and Venom will all be starting on something else than softs. So post your predictions for the winner of this race in the chat. We'll see if those predictions come true. I just received news that ghosting is off, so if anyone bins it into the castle section, yeah, that's gonna be the end of the day for probably half the field. So if anyone has a predicted number of safety cars that we're gonna be seeing, put that in the chat as well. And we'll shortly get underway. Okay, so we will get underway shortly. Just a quick reminder, the Constructors' Championship is even tighter than the Drivers. McLaren is leading Williams by 2 points and Mercedes is losing 16 to McLaren, but still a small margin, so the number 2s of the drivers that are at the top really need to perform in order to win the championship today. So to the whole 7 people watching the stream, let's all hold our breaths and count down the lights. We have 3, 4, 5, and it's lights out and away we go to Azerbaijan. Looks like a normal getaway for Preston there. Lewis in a fight with Rhythms but holds his position anyway. Matmar in a very big amount of trouble, almost got in contact with Skills Virus. There's the first incident and there's the first safety car just after the first corner. How quick was that? There was a collision with Zoomer in the wall, and that caused an immediate safety car. Oh, look at that, another accident. Timbit binned Turbo Games into the wall. during the safety car period. How about that? So it took us only 2 corners to get 1 DNF and a safety car, and also 5 safety car 5-second penalties. They will probably get deleted, but the stewards will probably have a lot of work on their hands after this race. There was a lot of fighting in after the last race in the group chats about the incidents, as people were very, very angry with what was going on. Thankfully some got banned, at least for this race. So yeah, look at that. So an immediate safety car, I'm not sure if that will force any people into the pits. I highly doubt it, and as far as position changes go, the only notable one happened between Matmar and Jado, as Jado is kind of struggling right now. He's down in P6, so his championship fight is really in jeopardy right now. And then most of the field didn't really change positions apart from Timbit, who gained like 7 during the incident. I don't know who was the person that Zoomer collided with, but I definitely know that Turbo Games and Timbit had a very interesting collision. And so into the pits goes Nova Apollo, Guys Hap, and Timbit, so he's gonna lose some positions, but Nova Apollo is going for the penalty. Pit stop, so is Timbit, and so is Guys Hap, probably because of the safety car penalties, or I don't know what happened there. And there's gonna be some front wing changes for... Actually, Zoomer is going in as well. He was the one in the wall. So strategies will change, but only for some. They will catch back up. And don't mind the graphic. It will get normal. I hope. So we're on the second lap. We have a safety car, and probably not the only one of the day. So we have only started. So, what changed strategy-wise? We have Timbit, Guys Hap, Nova Apollo, and Alonso on new mediums, Zoomer going to softs, and the rest stayed the same. Apart from that, not much. So we're slowly gonna be waiting for the restart of the race. It's gonna be Preston leading us back into the race. It looks like the back of the pack will just barely make it back in time after their pit stops. And the position changes. Yeah, actually Dulger got 5 and Venom got 8 positions in the whole incident thing happening there. So some people benefited out of that, but the safety car restart will probably change everything once we get back underway. So I'm hoping to see more action, more drama unfold here. It's going to be Preston going very slowly, maybe trying to force some weird penalties as the safety car restarts us, and it looks like he's already gone. As going into turn 1, there's not gonna be many battles, but look at this battle. The right team is going into the inside of Skill Virus, but Skill Virus, they're still side by side, almost touched Lewis there. And Lewis spinned, and Skill Virus is in the wall. Oh my god, that was a weird sequence of moments. So Matmar actually got up to P3 after all of these incidents happening. Skill Virus was trying to overtake Rhythms there, but Rhythms broke too late, pushed into the back of Matmar that was, and then he got the whole car very much unstable, and that probably put him in the wall. So that's probably what happened. Look at that, Rhythms diving into the inside of that corner before the castle section into Matmar. So Rhythms really making his way back, but Preston is just flying away with this race already with more than a second gap. After the safety car restart, that's another yellow flag, and the back of the grid is yet again in the castle section, and yet again we have a safety car. So we didn't even last a lap without many incidents happening, so this time it's Guy's Hap in the wall, and Matmar also got entangled in that incident, so they trigger. So not many penalties out of that, but because of the ghosting being off, this is going to be a very long race. So another safety car and a change of strategy for Lewis, also for Preston, and actually maybe the whole grid. So we're gonna be starting lap 5 it is, I think. And we're gonna see a very busy pit lane, a lot of position changes, and that means the Crimo will pick up the lead, but only because he started on the mediums and he's staying on them. And he does have a 5-second penalty that he has not yet served. So he's favoring track position for the time being. Alonso in P2 right now, Nova Apollo P3, and Preston going into the hard, so probably to the end of the race already. And he only got on P4, so that's not a bad strategy from Preston. He is not going to make another stop, but with the amount of safety cars here, I very much doubt that that's not going to change. Lewis on mediums, Rhythms on mediums, Jado on hard, so he's also thinking about the end game here. So we have 3 DNFs already, and we're only in the start of the race. Okay. So we're down to 15 runners. A very prime contender in Matmar got almost eliminated in the castle section incident. So this is definitely not the best day for Timbit, as he binned it in qualifying, and he also got binned in the race. So double DNF in 2 sessions in this league. Not the best end of the season for him. TM Ducky got another safety car penalty. And it's very hard to keep track of what's going on with the championships, as the grid is very fastly shuffling itself. But it doesn't look very possible for Renault to actually win the Constructors' Championship, only if McLaren and Williams didn't score any points and they got like a 1-2. Yeah, only in that case, but it doesn't look like that's gonna be happening. So TM Ducky will be serving his penalty and another front wing change. I'm not sure that every team actually brought enough front wings to change during this race, because there's gonna be a lot of pit stops like this. So we're on lap 6. I very much hope that this is going to be the last lap of the safety car, and also last safety car of the race, as we finally want to see some actual racing, because we only saw not even a lap, it was half a lap, and before that it was 2 corners. So not even a full lap of actual racing happening. But there is fewer people in the race, at least, so there's fewer people to take out, which sounds like a good thing, but is sad once you say it out loud. This time it's going to be Crimo leading the restart. I'm hoping that the safety car will go, but I'm not seeing the notification yet. The whole grid is finally back in the pack. Yes, the safety car is in this lap, and TM Ducky also, after that penalty and the front wing change, got back into the pack. So once again we're going to be restarting this race from scratch. Let's hope it will actually last. I really don't know if there's a limit on how many safety cars can there be in a race like this, and I'm very surprised to see that there are some position changes during the safety car. Yeah, that's a penalty for that, going into the hands of Madanito. But most important thing is that we're finally restarting with Crimo leading us into the race. Doesn't look like many battles will be happening for positions just yet into turn 1. But it looks like Lewis is gonna have a look down the inside of Preston, but it didn't work. Preston closed the door immediately. And so no position changes. There's an incident at the back yet again. Look at that. The Williams of Matmar really not having a good time. Guys have also lost some front wing because of it. So always bad stuff happening at the back of the pack. Thankfully the front is finally staying intact. This time it's not Preston leading us into the race, so we're finally gonna see some battles for the top positions. As let's see if this corner will bring some spicy dive bombs as it did last time. Doesn't look like it. Rhythm's probably not trying to do it yet again. Let's see if they finally get through the castle section intact, and it looks like the whole grid is being successful at doing it. So finally we have actual race on our hands with a completed lap. Let's see if this lasts when the DRS finally gets enabled and we're gonna see some actual overtakes happening. So it looks like Crimo and Alonso in a very good fight for P1, and there's a gap forming between those two and Nova Apollo and his train of cars. There's going to be Preston attacking him on the start-finish straight. He has much more straight line speed and he is on the hards. So let's see if he can outbrake him going into turn 1, and he does go into the inside. There was some touching, and they're still side by side going into turn 2. Let's hope there's no accidents there. Another touch, and that puts Lewis at a disadvantage. I'm not sure if he got damage out of it, but it forced him wide, so Preston got a position in the end. But I'm not sure how much that hurt Lewis. Back at the back, we have another set of 2 DNFs, and 2 people are in the pits yet again. This time it's Rythims and Guys Hap. The Trigger and Team Ducky are out of the race. I'm not sure if that was a connection issue or there was some incident. We unfortunately don't see everything. So we're closing the first third of the race. It's gone for so long and we're only in the beginning because of the safety cars. So the top 2 will be chased down by Preston, leading the train from Nova Apollo, going wide, almost damaging his car. He has a lot of damage after that incident, and so Jado gets a very easy position in a not so overtaking position, but it looks like he's going back into the inside. That was a very dangerous move from Nova Apollo. That has to be a penalty of some sort. And another dive from Skills Virus onto Nova Apollo. Nova Apollo is really struggling to actually get the car on track. So Skills Virus actually, oh my god, Nova Apollo has retired and he's binned it into the wall. Not sure if that was intentional or not, but he was very struggling. Each corner was a disaster, and we have another safety car. We only lasted 2 whole laps, and another safety car forced out of Nova Apollo. He couldn't just DNF in the pit lane, no. He just had to DNF in style like this. So another safety car, and this race will be longer than real life Singapore probably. So safety car number 3, and we're not even in the second half of the race. From 18 we have gone to 12 runners in this race. If you finish this race, you'll get like a huge amount of points. I'm not joking about this. And somehow Crymo and Scuderia Alonso, still the top 2 of this race, avoided all of that carnage, and Dolger in P5 out of nowhere. Very interesting grid shuffling going on. And if you don't mind, I'm gonna take a short break until the safety car restarts. Well, it looks like this grid, this race is not to be considered as a championship finale. It's more or less gonna be considered as a last to survive. Oh, I'm sorry, it's last. What's that called? I don't even know anymore. Yeah, it's just a survival race from now on. 1/3 of the grid is wiped out in the first 10 laps of the race, and we still have 16 more to go. That's how ridiculous this race is getting. As you can see, the sky is very much darkening, so I'm not sure what the weather forecast is. Oh yeah, last man standing, thank you, there we go. The sky is darkening a little bit. It did also in the last race in Austria, and it didn't rain. But with so many safety cars happening, the race has slowed down probably to a point where it's gonna maybe rain, who knows. But the safety cars have shuffled the grid so many times, the rain will be just another Tuesday for people that are seeing this race right now. We're on lap 11, not even halfway through the race. And still, so much stuff has happened. So basically the whole grid has gone into the pits, apart from Lewis, but he's not in a worse position either. Only 5 laps on his mediums during the safety car, mind you, so not the worst situation for him. But not a lot of people on softs right now, probably thinking of going into the end, and so many penalties actually got served during the safety car period that we only have Modenito with an actual penalty. Probably the reason is that everyone has DNF'd. And so, as far as position changes go, we have Zoomer, Dolger, Alonso and Crimo absolutely decimating the field. As far as going up the grid is concerned, and the rest is more or less staying the same. So hopefully we will restart this race, and for the final time we will see the safety car out. So this time it's going to be Lewis leading us into the race. Preston right behind him, and Crimo in P3. So let's see what the restart will look like. Looks like he's really slowing down. He really wants this to do tactically, and almost the whole grid is side by side with someone. So this will be very interesting. Still going very, very slowly. So many cars just inches off each other. So many penalties can come out of this, but because we only have 12 people, the carnage will be less than last time. And it looks like he already went. It looks like Skills Virus is actually going for the overtake before the next lap starts, so not the best position to be in. But it looks like the lead will get regained by Lewis off the restart. There was Crimo going very wide. That lost him a position to Scuderia Alonso, and now it's Preston and Skills Virus in a battle. Look at that, very close, very much side by side. Going into turn 3, let's see what the battle will look like. Preston really shut the door there, but I guess Skills Virus made it through, and still side by side into turn 4, and he touched the wall. That's some front wing damage, and Preston gets the position back, but they're still side by side going into this weird double corner. But because of the damage, it's only going to be a matter of time before Preston gets that position back anyway. So it looks like he did. Skills Virus going for a very ambitious dive into the inside, but it didn't work. And so Preston regains P2, but it allows Lewis to get a free second lead, but it doesn't matter because we have another safety car. Safety car number 4, and we didn't last another lap. I apologize to all the viewers who are probably bored to death with this stream and with my commentary, but this is very much out of my control right now. So, for another time, we haven't lasted another lap without having another safety car. Okay. Okay, so let's hope for the last time we will be having a restart and a safety car in this race. We've gone 14 laps with 4 safety cars. And this time it wasn't even for a DNS, so I'm really not sure what is going on right now. Pizza. Okay, I apologize. I'm trying to look for a co-commentator to do this race with me. So as far as the restart goes, nothing really happened apart from the fact that Crymo got 4 positions out of that restart. And it looks like Zoomer is in a battle with Modanito, and there's Dulger in a weird line going into Sector 2. Look at that dive. That was very nice, and he actually outbraked him as well. So going into P10, and we have another safety car. This time it's, again, for nothing. So safety car number 5 coming in. Oh my. Hello. Can we hear each other?
Yeah, I can hear you perfect.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying. Alright, I think you're invited. And let's have a look at what happened. So, yeah. 2 million safety car, and it looks like Lewis intentionally DNF'd himself out of the race.
Oh,
okay. I'm really unsure what to be thinking about this and what to comment on. Also, Rythim's DNF'd himself, so that's a thing. So we have 9 people in this race. And that's another DNF from Preston. Okay, I'm guessing this race will just be done. Because everyone is DNFing it themselves, yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I guess everyone is DNFing.
I can see everyone's just crashing now.
Right. Okay.
I don't know if there's going to be a restart or I don't know, but
yeah, this is exhausting.
I mean, yeah, there's just crashes going on everywhere now. I can check the Instagram and see. Okay, We're 25% without safety car.
Okay, so I guess I'm gonna have to stop the stream for now, and we're gonna restart it once the lobby is back together. I guess.
Probably I'll assume that I will end up going back in then.
Yeah, that seems kind of logical.
Yeah. But if I do end up crashing out again, then I'll join you.
I seriously want someone in here. Okay, I'm stopping the stream then. Jesus fucking Christ.